All right, we are going to work on Whirlwind by Jennifer Eklund. We already know everybody loves Jennifer Eklund songs, so this is another popular one. So if you're working on this one, we're going to work on it together today. So the first thing we're going to do is notice the time signature. The time signature are the numbers at the beginning. Do you see them? 6, 8. So how many beats do you think are in each measure? Is it the top number or the bottom number? If you answered 6, the top number, you are correct. There are 6 beats in every measure. But the 8 on the bottom is where we get into a lot of math, because normally a quarter note gets 1 beat, but now an eighth note gets 1 beat. If you look at your music, how many eighth notes do you see in the first measure? I see 6. They each get 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we look at the next measure. Now we have quarter notes. So if eighth notes get 1 beat, they used to get a half a beat in 4/4 time, but now they get 1 beat. So if eighth notes get 1, the quarter note gets double. So now the quarter note gets 2. So the next measure, the first quarter note gets beats 1 and 2. If you want to write this in your music with a pencil, you can. The D gets beats 3 and 4, and the third note in the second measure gets beats 5 and 6. So the rhythm would be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the rhythm of the first 2 measures. We're going to clap it together before we try to play it. So I will count 4, 5, 6. Then we'll clap together, and I'd like you to count out loud as well. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, did you get that? Or did you have trouble clapping and counting at the same time? You can always rewind the video to work on specific parts. We're going to clap it together one more time. If you need to rewind and do it again until you get it, that's fine. Here we go. Say it and clap it. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we also need to look at our key signature. That tells us how many flats or sharps are in the piece. Oh, there's a flat in this piece. All the whats are flat. If you said B's, you are correct. So there's not a lot of B's in the right hand. I don't even know if there's any B's in the right hand, but be careful because there will be some B's in the left hand. We're going to try the right hand by ourselves. The first note is on a treble clef space, right hand. If you really pay attention to detail when you practice, we're going to really work on thinking through our practice. A lot of people want to practice and they want to go fast. They want to just play it and not really think about it. And you really have to analyze what you're doing before you start. If you don't know what analyze means, that means you really have to think it through before you start playing the piece. So we look at the first note. It's on a space. Treble clef space rhymes with face. First note is an F. It says third finger. I have my third finger on F. Oh, look at this. I have a bubble under my hand. My fingers are curved. I'm going to start with that F. We're going to play together. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to do it again, and I'm going to count, and we're going to do one line only. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you need practice and you're not keeping up with me, you need to stop the video and rewind and do it over and over until you get it. That's another thing that everybody needs to work on. They think, oh, I practiced, I'm done. Practice is over and over and over until you get it right. And also slow practice, slow and thoughtful practice. So you need to practice something several times to get it very good. So we're going to go on to the next line. But if you need to keep working on the first line, just stop the video, rewind it. and join me on the next line when you're ready. All right, we're going to start on line number 2. I still have my third finger on F. The only tricky spot on this is at the end of line 2, where we have a sharp, a C sharp. So if you look at the last measure or the last box of line 2, you see a D that's not colored in, a half note, with the thumb. So you're going to play your D. Then it says 2 with the C sharp. Well, look at this. We're going to take our hand and, well, if I can get the camera right, we're going to take our hand and we're going to cross over down to C sharp. Okay, with the second finger. All right. Just some people also just look at the finger numbers and they think, oh, it's finger number 2. And then they just plop down a 2, not realizing maybe you have to move your hand or maybe you have to cross over. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do line 2. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you get it? Did you cross your thumb over? Did you keep up with me? If not, rewind. Okay, now we're going to go back and look at the left hand. So we're going to start at the beginning. And Jennifer Eklund, her songs usually have a lot of patterns in them. And we appreciate that because it makes it easier for us to learn. So if you look at the left hand, the bottom note in the left hand is on a line. Great big dogs. It's a D. And it says put your pinky on D. So find your pinky on D. Now, I'm going to go to the next measure. Sometimes saying the pattern out loud will help you. So in measure 1, the first note in the left hand is a D. Okay? Let's see if we can see this. Then, if you look at measure 2, it is the second note is a G. Okay? So it goes from D to G. Now the bottom note, ooh, there's that flat. The bottom note is great big, a B flat. And then the next measure, it goes up 1. So it was on B. I'm sorry, it goes down 1. It was on B and it goes down 1. What's 1 lower than B? It's an A. And if you didn't know that, you could just use your space sayings. All cows eat grass. So what we're going to say for our left hand, for the notes, we're going to be going D, G, B, A. Say it again with me. D, G, B, A. D, G, B, and A. Okay, those are your bottom notes for your left hand. So here we go. Get your left hand pinky on the D. And the top note, great big dogs fight animals. It's always 1 and 5. They're 5 apart. Here we go. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to G. 1, 2, 3. Now go to B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down 1 to A. Okay, now if you need to turn the video off and practice it so you can keep up with me, turn the video off and practice it. Remember, D, G, B, A. Say it again. D, G, B, A. So if you need to just practice moving D down to G, up to B flat, and A. Just remember the B's are flat. So here we go. We're going to do it one more time. Like I said, at any point in the video, if this is easy for you, great. And even if it's easy, it's good practice to play along, okay? So we're going to do this one more time, the left hand. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Go to the next line. It's the same thing. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do hands together. 2 lines, because these 2 lines are similar. They're almost the exact same. Okay, so here we go. Get your right hand ready. You're in the D position. Your right hand thumb starts on D. Your left hand pinky starts on D. So you're in the D position. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you kept up with that, great. We're going to go faster. If you didn't keep up with that, rewind the video, play it over and over, or stop the video and practice it yourself until you're able to play with me. Here we go faster. First 2 lines. 4, 5, 6. Now, it says at the top left, above the treble clef, it says the tempo, and it says, she made it fun. It says, play as fast as you can. We don't want to be sloppy, but it'd be fun to make it sound like this. So, you may not get that in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We've been working for 11 minutes already. Can you believe that? So we're halfway done almost. But if you're not used to sitting down this long to practice, this is how you really need to practice. This is really helpful, and it will help you get things. And sometimes you have to do it more than once. And it may take you a week, 2 weeks, or a month to get it that fast. Just don't try to go too fast too soon. It'll come. We're going to go down to the next 2 lines. Okay, so we're going to look at line 3. These are a little bit trickier because we're going to be moving our hand, okay? So we start in the D position on line 3. So are these notes stepping or skipping in the left hand? If you said skipping, you're right. The right hand, however, only steps. D, E, F. So make sure your hands are in the D position, okay? We're going to do this line, and then I'm going to see if you already know that there's some place in this line where your hand is going to move. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's that crossover again on that C sharp. Well, we already did that in the first 2 lines, so you should already know how to do that. When you look at box number 3 in this line, your hand was in the D position. Now it moves, okay? It starts in the D position in measure 1. Measure 2, it goes to B. Measure 3, you're moving down to what? G. And then up 1 to A. Hey, isn't that the same pattern that we said when we first started practicing? D, B, G, A, D, B, G, A. Oh, it wasn't. She mixed it up on us. It was D to G. Now she's going D to B, and then she put the G in. It's the same notes, but they're a little bit mixed up. So it's D first, then your pinky goes down to B flat. So move your hand, make sure your pinky's on B flat and play it. Move your hand, take your pinky and play G, and up 1 note. All right, let's try just the left hand. 4, 5, 6. Move to B. 2, 3, move to G. Move to A. Okay, did you get that? Let's try it one more time. 4, 5, 6. Oh, we have to start that over because I made a mistake. 4, I went down to the G already. We're only going to B flat. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you have that, we're ready to play this line and the next line. If you look at the beginning of this third line, there's a 9 above it. If you don't know what that means we are on measure 9 or box 9 of the song. All right, and we also have on measure 9, the line 3, we've got this big symbol in the first two measures. 1 is getting bigger, so you're getting louder. And in box 2, it's getting smaller. So you're going to start soft, and get louder, then get softer. And it's really hard to do that when you're going fast, okay? Then after that, there's a word, an Italian word next to that. It says simile. What in the world does that mean? Well, it kind of sounds like a tricky word called similar. So it means you do the same thing in every box. Every box you're going to start soft, get louder, and then get soft again. Getting loud and soft, okay? So that's pretty tricky, and that's kind of the icing on the cake. Usually I say once you learn the piece, you can go back and put the, cake is great, but cake with frosting is even better. So you're learning your notes, that's the cake. Then when you go back and add all the louds, the softs, the crescendos, anything else in there, the dynamics, well, that is the louds and softs, but then that's the frosting on the cake. Okay, so we're going to start on line 3, and we're going to play 3 and 4 together. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if you can't keep up with that, you can keep playing it with me or turn it off. I'm going to go faster now. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're almost ready to play the whole first page. Can you believe how long it took? I bet when you normally practice, you don't really dissect it down and really be this particular when you're practicing. But this is what you really need to do every day when you practice. So we're going to see a lot of improvement with everybody this week, I think. Okay, I'm going on to the last line of page 1, okay? And this is just a pattern. It's kind of like a tongue twister, if you know what that is. I don't even know if I can do this tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. That's a tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. Can you say that? And then if people say it 5 times fast. Well, this is like a tongue twister, but for your fingers. It's really easy, though. Your right hand is still in your D position. It starts with what letter? It starts with A. F-A-C-E. It is an A. It is your pinky. Okay? And it walks down. Go up 1 and it walks down again. Oh, the same thing. Now we got something different. But there's no skipping around, jumping, anything. These notes are all just stepping up or stepping down. Most of them are stepping down. So we're going to try this a little bit faster. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? When you're really fast but not sloppy, it'll go like this. 4, 5, 6. Okay. And this pattern in the left hand is pretty easy. You know why? If you look at it, can you find why it's easy? It's only moving down 1 each time. So it starts off with D. The next measure, everybody go down 1. C is on the bottom. The next measure, everybody go down 1. Ooh, but remember the B is flat, so get that little pinky on a black key. And then the next measure, everybody go down. So let's play the left hand as written on the last line. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down one. B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The only thing tricky about this whole line when we play it together is if you look at the last measure, the second A, it goes in between some notes. You see that it is not lined up with anything. So we're going to play it together very slowly. 4, 5, 6. Move down. 1, 2, 3, left, right. Okay, so those don't go together. So the last measure is together, right, left, right. Okay, and let's try that again. 4, 5, 6. A little faster. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and of course, like I said, go ahead and stop it if you need to practice. We're going to play the whole page. Now, I cannot see the whole page on my computer, so hopefully I will, let's see if I got it memorized. See if I can play it without any mistakes because I cannot see the whole thing. All right, here we go. We're going to play together. First time a little slow, second time a little fast. 4, 5, 6. Remembered it, even though I couldn't see the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to try to go a little faster. Did you hear my crescendos and decrescendos on line 3? That's what makes a song musical, okay? And that is the difference between a fine musician and an average musician. So we're all trying to be fine musicians. Okay, so we're almost done. If you're thinking, oh, how long is this? Okay, this is how long you should be practicing every time you sit down. And this is only one page of the song. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go fast. If you couldn't keep up with me on the whole page and you couldn't do the right rhythms or your hand didn't move quick enough, you should turn it off and practice or rewind and play with me, 5 more times. A lot of times I say, however old you are, that's how many times you should play it, either each line or the whole page. If you're 9 years old or 10 years old, if you're 10, you need to play this whole page 10 times in a row, okay? So here we go, last time, fast, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that gets you a great start, okay? So, pat on the back, good job, you stuck with it. You practiced for almost 25 whole minutes, almost 30 minutes. And that's what you should be doing every time. So I bet you've gotten a lot better on this piece already. Now, if you take a look at it, the next page, we already know the pattern. When you sit down and practice tomorrow, you might not be watching the video of me. You can review this video if you want, but you're going to practice by yourself. But you're on page 2, you're going to do the same things me and you did today. You're going to see if you probably already know the patterns in the left hand, so you won't have to go over, D, A, B, or I'm sorry, D, G, B, A, because you already know that. The first line we already know. but it goes up. She just changed the right hand note just a little bit. And you already know the rest of it. The only thing they did is add extra left notes in the left hand. And then when you get to page 3, let's see, you've got a fermata in measure 45, 46, 47, 48. So if you can see where you find on the 3rd page number 45, count to box number 48, and you will see a fermata. Do you know what it means when you see a fermata? It means you hold the note. So you hold it, it's for 6 beats, but you hold it a little longer, but it's up to you how long you hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting. Okay. And then you decide when you want to take it off. When you look at the next measure, measure 49, it looks like, oh no, what is this? Well, guess what? You really already know it. It's just that the right hand is an octave higher than it was. Let's see. The right hand on measure 49, empty garbage before dad flips. Oh, it's an F. Hey, does this sound familiar? It's the same thing, but it's an octave higher, okay? So when you sit down and practice on your own, you use the same techniques that me and you did together on page 1, and you play each line. If you're 10 years old, play each line 10 times. Make sure you're using the right fingers. If you see a dynamic sign, let's see, on page 2, at the beginning of page 2, I see an F. Well, you should know that that means forte, so that's loud. Then all of a sudden on the next line, on line 2 of page 2, it's medium soft, MP. So you should hear a big difference like this. I'll play it, and you make sure when you're practicing you hear this too. Okay, did you hear the difference? I got a lot softer, and that makes your audience listen, and they're like, wow, that's really interesting. It catches their attention and grabs their attention. If you just play the same thing, if I talk like this the whole time, it would be boring because I would never change. But if I told a story like this, and then you know what happened? Well, okay, see how I got loud and soft? It was way more interesting. So it's the same with music, okay? So, hey, good work today. It was a lot of work. If you stuck with me like you were supposed to, I'm sure you know it, and you got some good tools to use the rest of the week when you practice this. And guess what? You're probably going to learn this in record time, okay? I betcha you could learn this whole song in 1 week if you practiced every day. Thanks. See you later.